Hello students, today we are going to start with our essential oil topic. So, essential oil. So, essential oil are basically based on the odorous principle which is obtained from the plant, animal and vegetable origin. Here from animal source we can get the fixative products which can be later used for the fixation of perfume, blend and for retarding the rate of evaporation. Then this essential oil contains aldehydes, ethers, esters and some oxygenative compounds also. Now, why these essential oils are called as essential oils? Because it contains the essence of the active constituent of plant material. Now, any plant material which have aroma chemical in it, we can use to extract the essential oil. Now, there are different companies who make this essential oil such as IFF, Tagasaco, Firmenich, Givaudan. So this kind of perfume industries make the perfume blends. And what happens if any of this company is making one product which is not available with any of them, they will directly take this product towards them and they will sell it. Any companies which are selling perfumes like Chanel and Dior, these are the perfume companies which make perfume. These companies simply take the perfumes from this raw material companies, and they make their own aromatic blend. These companies only give their name to that perfumery product. Now, what is the main part of the essential oil? Main part of the essential oil is the process of distillation. Now, this is one of the traditional methods used to obtain the essential oils from the plant materials. And distillation basically is separation of two or more compounds by virtue of difference in its vapor pressure. Now, what happens in distillation? Any molecule, whether it in the constant or in the random motion, with the successive temperature increase, they will move forward, and when the molecule vaporizing is equal to molecule condensing, a state of dynamic equilibrium, constant stable state is achieved, due to which you will get a continuation of the distillation process. Initially, what happens? You will see the molecules rising from the round bottom flask. Here is your bent neck tube. You will see the droplets are accumulating here, but they are not going forward into the condenser. It is not going into the condenser because yet the dynamic stable state is not achieved. The vaporizing and condensing molecules are not equal, so that when this state is reached, you will see these molecules will travel from this condenser and you will get into your container. So in this type of distillation, there are three main types, which is water, or you can say it hydro distillation product. Then steam distillation, where you use the direct steam distillation, and then there is water and steam distillation. Now, what are the equipments important? You need a retort, you need a condenser, you need a boiler, and you need a receiver or a separator. Okay. Now, on lab scale, what you have is RBF, which we call as round bottom flask. Again, the condenser is second most important part of this distillation system, distillation assembly. Then you will need your separator. Okay. So round bottom flask looks like this. This is your round bottom flask. Then this is your condenser. It is cylindrical in shape and there is a tube inside it, and there is a separator. There is this kind of separator, this kind of separator where you have the outlets for collecting the water and for the oil. Now there are two types, where oil heavier than water and oil lighter than water. So this kind of separators we have, which we can use accordingly. If your oil is heavier than water, you can opt for that kind of separators, and if your oil is lighter than water, you can opt for the different kind of the separator. So this, basically these are the lab scale apparatus which you require. Now what will happen is, also this condenser has an inlet over here, one for the cold water inlet and one for outlet of the hot water. So what will happen in water distillation or hydro distillation? What is important is the choice of plant material. Based of chemical constituent of particular plant material, you have to choose whether it withstand the heat for the direct water distillation. If not, you can take that plant material suitable for the other kind of the distillation. For example, if we are taking rose oil here, what we will require, from where we will get this oil? From the petals of the rose plant. What you have to do, you have to detach these petals from the rose flower, and you have to imbibe this in water, immerse it in the water. To this you have to add the porcelain chips so that you avoid the bumping of the water. Then what will happen? In this RBF, you have your plant material and water and porcelain chips. Then you have start heating it up. You have a bent tube, and to this your condenser is attached. Here, and to this you have your separator over here. Okay, so what will happen? what will happen, that due to the effect of heat, the water starts to get boiling up and vapors start to travel up. Then what this vapor will do, what this steam will do, this will diffuse the aroma oils present, volatile oil present in this plant material petals. This will diffuse due to the effect of heat, due to the effect of the hydrolysis, and this vapor will travel from all the way from the here in the condenser. Now what happens in the condenser? In the outer part of this cylindrical tube, there is the cold water running. What? Cold water running. Due to which the heated vapors which is traveling inside this tiny tube gets cooled. Condense होते जाते हैं. Then what will happen? This will travel and fall into the separator. Here you can collect your oil and here you can collect your water. Now due to some oxygenated compounds, this will dissolve in water and you get your floral water also, because some of the part of the perfume is dissolved in the water, and you get your pure volatile oil also. This is a very tedious process. All the distillation processes are very tedious and this might be costly also. That's why the products obtained by this process are usually costly. So this is basically simple hydrodistillation process. Then you can go for direct steam distillation if your plant material withstand this type of distillation. Now what is in this? Usually this is mostly preferred for the large scale distillation process. Now again, what on the large scale it will have a boiler. Okay, this is your boiler. To this your tank is attached. Okay, to this your tank is attached. To this tank, here you will get the heat and here will be your condenser. Here will be your condenser. This will be your retort, and you will collect your material over here in this separator. Now what happens when you heat this boiler? Water in this will produce the steam vapors and this will go into this vessel. Now in vessel what is present? A perforated grid, and on this the plant is rest. Now what will happen? This boiler, this steam will travel through this plant cells. This will diffuse the aroma oils. Then again it will travel to the condenser where the liquid where the vapors get converted into the liquid, and you get your oil here and water outlet here. Water which you don't need, floral water, you will get here. This is the direct steam distillation. Such plant material you have to choose which can withstand the this kind of distillation process and not get degraded in this process, because at the end you need a pleasant perfume smell, not the obnoxious odor, and this kind of distillation will also be termed as the destructive distillation. So this is your direct steam distillation. Next is your water and steam distillation. In this you need to connect with a ball clock which will give you the idea of the water level in this container. Again you will have your vessel to which the condenser is connected, and again the separator. This is your boiler, this is your vessel, retort, and this is your condenser. Again the steam will pass through this vessel. Again here you have a perforated grids. Now these perforated grids have a small holes, because you need to pass that steam through these holes to reach out to the plant material, so that due to this steam the cells get diffused and your aroma oil will travel along with the water vapor and aroma vapor. It will get into the condenser where it gets cooled down and converted to liquid, and finally you get it into the separator where you can collect your oil separately and the water separately. Now in all this condition, in all this process, what happen is your floral water along with your volatile oil, which are separately collected in the different containers, are sent for the testing. If they are of any use, they can be used. Floral waters can be used in the cosmetic preparations, and always volatile oils can be used for the different purposes, maybe therapeutic use or maybe in the cosmeceutical use, cosmetic use. Okay, so this is basically about the most important processes in the distillation. Now there are many effects of this process, where there is a effect of the hydrolysis reaction, there is the effect of the cell diffusion, where the cell diffuses and the aroma oil travels up to the condenser and then into the separator. Then there is the effect of the heat. Due to the increasing of the successive temperatures, that cells will diffuse the aroma oils present in it. Again, you can treat the distillate water, you can again put it to the distillation and you can purify it. Then you have to decide when you have to end the distillation process. Until and unless you think it is economical to continue the process, you can continue this process. Otherwise, as a manufacturer, you can stop this process. So it is up to you what kind of and what ml of product you are getting. If it is worth getting the product, you can continue the distillation process. Otherwise, you can end the distillation process. Also, if there is any sign of destructive distillation, you can stop and the distillation process. Now, these essential oils are volatile in nature. If you expose this kind of oil in air, then it will evaporate very easily. For that purpose, all the oils collected should be stored in a well tight container away from the light, and this should be stored properly. There should be no leakages in the container which will make your oil loose. So you have to preserve it properly. Then it can be also called as the ethereal oil also. So this can basically be called as volatile oil, ethereal oil and the essential oil also. Different kinds of essential oil such as lemon oil, sandalwood oil, rose oil, lavender oil, we can use this kind of purpose. Most of the perfumes have rose, geraniol and the tuberose contents in it. Different chemical constituents can be kept as a base to look which distillation process we can opt for. So this is all about the essential oil.